All right, here's a quick look at the 1976 Boston Whaler 11-foot, I like to call it a sport, set up as a tender for a much larger boat. The boat's been sitting outside, so it's quite dirty. These things really brighten up with an acid bath, which I have not done anything to it except drag it home and push it into the garage. It's really, really heavy. I'm going to need 2 people to help me get it out of here. I did this myself and crushed one of my, I broke one of my sawhorses. It doesn't matter. So here's what we got. It's a 76. It's been around. It's had a few different things done to it. It's had different davits in it over its days. Currently, the way it's set up is as follows. There's a lifting eye here, right there on the front. There's a cover right here that goes there. There's an old steering station. I don't give that much value, but it is there if you want it. Anyways, there's a lifting eye there, and then in the back, these old lifting eyes, I'm not sure what they're used for, but you couldn't lift the boat with them. The lifting eyes to lift the boat out of the water with the davit are in there. So you get a couple of little plastic swivelly seats if you want them, or take them off. Doesn't matter. This one's offset, so you can kind of sit here and steer. That one's offset, so it's balanced. It's a great tender. I just can't use it with my setup right now. There's holes and stuff here because there's rails. There's all kinds of stuff been attached to it. There's a set of rails that I think they go down here on these lower set right here. They're like little handrails that go on the side. There's a set for them. Set of them right here. They're off. There's a oar locks, 4 oar locks, and there's this thing. I'm not sure. Oh, I know what that's for. It'll be more clear when I show you the davit. So there you go. That's to pin the boat up to the davit. Anyways, so that's the boat. 1976, 11-foot Boston Whaler. Here's the engine. 2010, I'm pretty sure. 2010 Honda 4-stroke 9.9. The 9.9 is important because really if you use this as a tender, you won't have to license it, but it is licensed through June of 2018. Outboard and gas can. These are the rails that I was showing you that go on the boat. A couple of oars. This white thing here, it's not very white because it's filthy. The whole thing's been sitting outside except the engine. This is the davit. So this part down here connects to the boat. There's a pivot block that connects onto the transom, one on each side. There's the other one. And then this whole thing stands up or tilts down, and it's kind of tilted out like that. When it comes up, it picks up the boat. When it goes down, it puts the boat in the water. And it's all done with this little hoist. There's a winch, electric winch built in there. And those are the power cables for it. So you got to wire this into the boat. But to make this work on your boat, and the whole thing, all you really need to do is bolt these 2 blocks to the transom, pin them in, put a a loop on the back of your boat on the transom, a strong one, to hang onto that end of that winch cable, which really should be replaced. It's galvanized. It's looking pretty crummy, but so it comes out and hooks onto the boat here, so you can lift it up. And it's electric, so it's a push button operation, and that's it. The boat otherwise, this front as your front. The 2 hooks over there is for the these 2 cables there. It's hard to see, there's 2. That's the rear. There's a couple of oars for it, and I showed you those blocks when you lift it up. Those pins come through here, and you just pin them on these there's just little nylon blocks to keep the boat from swaying around and banging against your boat. So all you do is you lift up the boat, and the pin comes through there, and you put a cotter through it. You should be good to go. I mean, really, it's a turnkey setup. I just cannot use it in my marina. It sticks out too far. It's not without its problems as far as it's dirty, but the powder coat's flaking off in a few places, like right there and back here where it's up against the transom. Looks like it's been, maybe it was rubbing, I'm not sure. But the powder coat's kind of not great. A rattle can will fix it. or send it off, get it powder coated. It doesn't matter to me. But it's a much nicer setup than like a Weaver Davit, which unfortunately is what I'm going to have to go to now because I can't have the length of my boat at Dagmar's. So there you go. Davit, electric hoist, Honda outboard, which is probably where all the value is, to be honest. And a Boston whaler, 11-foot Boston whaler. And if you want a really big dinghy, I'll sell you this thing here, 27 feet of cabin cruiser, but that's a whole other story.